Hey guys, what's up? It's Jay. It's the first week of Movie Club and Jay versus Horror. We got about 25,000 members. We didn't have that many people participate, but we had quite a few. And yeah, we're going to talk about the movie. We're going to read a few of your comments, and then we're going to give someone a chance to pick our next movie. So here's how we're going to do that. Let's start off with I'm going to talk about Frankenstein's Army. Of course, I picked this movie because it's the first week and I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. We watched it again this week, me and Lisa, just for this. And she was not as big a fan of Frankenstein's Army as I am. But I will say this, okay? Frankenstein's Army is a found footage movie, and there's a ton of found footage movies out there. That's kind of why I like them because most of them are terrible. But occasionally you find a really good one, and when you do, they're a lot of fun. And that's what I think about Frankenstein's Army. You can tell that this was a very low budget film, uh, but they paid close attention to the practical effects. They built some really cool creatures, and that's really what the movie's about is the creatures. I heard some people who complained about the storyline a little bit. I mean, it's kind of a thrown together storyline. Basically, what we have here is some Russian soldiers at the end of World War II, and they're sent to take over a certain place like a laboratory or a facility. They don't know what's in there, though. They have no idea what they're actually doing and or why that they have somebody with them who's filming all this. They try to make it make sense. They try to throw little things in there to make it make sense, but it's still kind of out there. Um, but yeah, they're filming all this and they invade this compound and surprise, surprise, it's not what they thought. It's some kind of crazy mad scientist who just happens to be a descendant of Victor Frankenstein, and now he's working for the Nazis, creating these crazy monsters, and they're very. There's a lot of them. There's probably like really maybe 10 or 12 really cool creature designs in this movie. Some of them get showed off a little bit more than others, and some of them are kind of like for humor. You can tell that they went the humor direction with some of the creatures too, not just making them scary. But some of them are very menacing. And I even like the doctor. I think he's very fun. He's just crazy and he doesn't give a shit that he's crazy. And when he's challenged about it, he has a, kind of a fun monologue where he kind of explains himself or justifies why he thinks it's okay to do the things he's doing. But anyway, so I like the movie a lot. For me, it's like a 7 out of 10 movie. I know it's not like that for most people. And just from looking at the reviews that other people left, I'd say it's probably closer to probably 6 out of 10. It feels like probably 6 out of 10 people liked it, and maybe 4 out of 10 people didn't. So we'll look at some of the reviews or comments that other people left about it real quick. So just recently, Stevie and Austin said that he loved the movie. It was one of his favorites. Russell said he was not able to participate. Russell is one of the biggest movie critics in India, but he was not able to participate this week because they don't have Tubi there, and he's not somebody that wants to use an illegal VPN or something, so he didn't get to watch it. But we're gonna let Russell pick one of these weeks, so we'll all have to watch what he wants to watch. I also just want to ask Russell, like, I want to just put this question out there to Russell. Russell, if I'm a horror fan and I want to watch a really cool Indian horror film, the best recommendation you can make to me, so that's just gonna like get me hooked on Indian horror. What is that movie? Give us that movie, Russell. If you can't leave a comment here, if not, leave it in the group. Let everybody know. That way we can start watching what you're watching because I see a lot of movies coming through from your page, and I'm not exactly sure what they are because they don't get promoted here. And I always want to ask, and I really just want to ask if there's one movie that, like, hey, Jay, watch this one. You're going to get hooked from here. That's what I want to see. So, yeah. And Stephen Parker said that he thought this was a really good movie for a low budget film. It plays itself seriously, and that's nice, unlike Iron Sky. I would love to see a bigger budget remake of the film. That's interesting. I don't know if you really need a bigger budget. I kind of like the small budget one-off thing for this. I don't know. It kind of felt like to me, if I really wanted to see anything from this, it would be like a graphic novel. I could see somebody doing like a comic book of this and following the exploits of whatever happens next with Dr. Frankenstein's creatures that escape this madness. If any of them do, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But yeah, so those are a couple of the comments. We had some more here. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. So let's go back to the beginning. Plenty of comments. Plenty of comments. Okay, Brett Ali says he enjoyed the movie and he felt it was a different take on both Frankenstein and an interesting twist within the war film genre. And he liked the design of the monsters and thought they were very cool. Lisa Nelson said she's going to watch it today. She didn't leave a review, but she did participate. And Laurent Price said he wouldn't be able to watch it till Thursday. Justin Davies said he watched this and he was very surprised at how good it was. He always liked these types of monster movies, and combined with the war element, he found it a good watch. German Ignacio said he loved it. John Phillips said this movie is so much fun. The setting is awesome, and the monsters are sick. DJ Walls, it was amazing. The creepy monsters made by the mad scientist, but was he the bad one? Yeah, I think that's probably where he's the scientist does this monologue and everybody kind of tries to justify what he's doing with these monsters. And I guess if you really want to justify anything, you can just say everyone's shit. Everything in the world is shit, so it doesn't matter what anyone does, right? So there we go. Andrew the Rhino Blackwell says it's an amazing movie. He liked the idea of the zombie-like creatures with mechanical parts, and Frankenstein's lair was terrifying. He was a terrifier character in himself and gave off the who knows what lurks around the corner vibe. Good movie. Robert Powell says he actually owns this on DVD and thinks it's a very good film. Larry Paez says that he has never watched the movie, but he's always wanted to, and he's going to watch it now. It's free on Tubi, guys. If you're watching this, if you're not in the group, come join us at the group on Facebook, Jay versus Horror. All you have to do is, search it, ask to join. I'll approve it. You can come join us. There's like 25,000 of us. We don't have any bullshit there, though. It's just horror fans. We don't put up with any crap. So, yeah. But, yeah, lots of great comments. I mean, Ronald Patino says that it's a good movie. He enjoyed it. Miguel Gomez says that she's going to be watching it tonight. Farrell Lynn. I love some of these names from some of our members. Farrell Lynn. And also we have a guy named Phil Lupino. Yeah. And Farrell says she still needs to watch it. And she gives a little bit of the background here from the film that I didn't know about, and says that it was originally called Worst Case Scenario and was teased over a decade ago. And then it got reworked and actually came out as Frankenstein's Army. I'm not sure about all that, but apparently there's a link somewhere here on YouTube where you can go look that up and find out about it. Pam Pantaleone says, I watched it today. I liked it. It kept my attention. Darren McKiernan said, sadly, it was not available on Tubi in Australia. So that's the problem that we're going to have with Movie Club, is that we're trying to use free sites so as many people can watch the movies as they can. But like I said, we got like 25,000 members in the group, and a lot of them are from all over the world. I was looking the other day, it was something like 37 different countries that we have more than 5 members from that country. So there's people all over the world. You never know what people are going to have access to. And one of the ways that we're going to keep it fair is that once somebody gets picked, once they select a movie, they go to the back of the line. You can't be randomly picked again next week. One of the other people will get selected before you get selected again. That way everybody will get a chance to share some of their favorite movies with us, and it'll be fun. You guys will see. Kelly McLeod said, she loves this idea. Cool movie. Ingo Dirkschneider says, this is some great ideas in this movie, especially in terms of the creature design. I don't know what Ingo's accent is like. I'm just making it up here. But apart from that, a very messy film which lacks direction and a decent script. And personally, I don't like the whole shaky camera thing. Nevertheless, not a bad choice if you just want to switch off and watch a movie. Yeah, I think that a lot of people had that opinion. Lisa was not a fan of the movie. And she had some good points too. I was trying to get her to do this with me so I could get her to talk about it, but I can't remember what all of them were. Some of them were very good. Like, they did a lot of work with the creature effects, but then some of the like gore effects were like people got cut up and stuff. They were really bad. There was some problems with logic on this guy holding this camera the whole time while these monsters are attacking everybody, and he just basically is able to hold it for about 2/3 of the movie, and then they come up with a reason for why he doesn't have to hold it anymore after that. So yeah, but So yeah, she had some problems with it. They were legit, and I was like, yeah, I get it. And Marty said, first things first, don't expect great storytelling with this film. It's shallow as hell. But its format doesn't require it to be anything more than that. Some incredible practical creature effects. I agree, Marty. Apparently, CGI was kept to a bare minimum. Yeah, I don't think they used much CGI at all in this film, and that's why it's so much fun because, like, you could tell, like, these guys were smart. The creatures that they built are smart. Even like the sparks in the background and stuff while they're generating them. It's fun. And yeah, Marty goes on to say that it's tense and claustrophobic setting, and it's some harrowing single shot scenes which seem to last forever. I'm not a big fan of found footage, but as they go, this one was one of the few I enjoyed. I'll let my words do the talking, as I'm not a big fan of giving movies a numerical percentage or a rating. Just know that as someone who doesn't like a lot of found footage movies, I really have fun with this one. Thank you, Marty. Ed Mark says it's a fun film. Yeah, Russell commented again that he wasn't able to watch it from India. And Greg is a longtime podcaster, great friend of the group. Greg says, "Meh, it was weak. So much can be said about it. The easiest way to describe it, it's supposed to be a found footage style horror movie, but it takes place in World War II in Russia. So much was wrong. Should have been filmed in black and white, 16 millimeter. However, Russia wouldn't have had that budget, wouldn't have had the budget to film that, and they wouldn't have been using color. The film techniques. Oh, yeah, we get it. Okay, basically, I mean, I'll let you guys read this because it's worth reading. He only gives it 4 out of 10, and he goes on for a while. He does say that the monster design was the best part, and I would agree with that. Even if you have a problem with the story, I think if you're a horror fan, you like the monsters, the creatures here. It's like if you like that show Face Off, you're gonna love this movie. But yeah, Jonathan Althor says just got done watching this again. Here's my thoughts on it. Actually, really enjoyable. It's actually a really enjoyable film with some great practical effects. I'm not gonna spoil all of them for you guys. I'll let you check out his review on in the group. He gave it 6.8 out of 10, and he said he enjoys the idea of movie club. So we're going to keep that going. And Chris Olson says it's definitely one of the best and most creative of the found footage movies of that time. I think some of these monsters would even give Clive Barker nightmares. I don't know. I feel like these monsters kind of came from Clive Barker at a certain extent, right? This is a little bit like Dead Snow meets Hellraiser, S&M a little bit with some creatures, and I don't know. There's a little bit you can see. It's not. I'm not saying it's derivative of those things, but you can feel the flavor. You can see the inspiration. Uh, LeBron Price said he just finished it. He loved the creatures. Frankenstein's lair was kind of scary. He also felt it was claustrophobic. Obviously, not the best film, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Joe Owens B. Jr. said, I'd never seen this prior to watching it for this post. Big fan of found footage horror, which this gave a nice twist. The practical effects and jump scares were top notch. Interesting scenario for a film. Definitely would have loved to see the movie on the big screen. Yeah, I don't know if this one was ever going to make it to the big screen, but this is just, a perfect example, guys. The reason why I picked it first, even, and it's on Tubi, it's free. Anybody can watch it here in the States, or if you have a VPN, you can watch it from another country for free. And it's proof that you don't have to have millions and millions of dollars to make a fun, memorable horror film. This movie's 10 years old. I've seen it like 5 times. I think a lot of the people that watched it here are probably going to watch it again eventually, or they'll show it to somebody else. Say, hey, this one was fun. It reminds me of another one called Digging Up the Marrow that Adam Green did, where it's just, yeah, the story's not great, but the creatures are awesome. The effects are there, and they're fun to watch because of that. Now, I'm going to pick somebody at random. I don't know. I'm going to eventually just download a randomizer and put everybody's name in it each week. As we figure this stuff out, we'll figure all that out. But I'm just going to random. I'm going to with my phone, and whoever it lands on, that's who's going to get to pick the next movie. Okay. And today being Sunday, I'm going to try to get a hold of them. Hopefully we'll have the movie by tomorrow or Tuesday, and then we'll figure out, what we're going to do from this. If we don't get it by then, I'll just pick another movie, and then we'll give this person a week to set up the next movie. How's that? How's that work for you guys? Yeah. And then that way we'll always be a week ahead or behind, however you want to look at it. All right. All right. So just scroll through and stop. And the name that I land on is Chris Olsen, Chris Olsen. All right, Chris, you get to pick the next movie, bud. So what we want you to do, the only restrictions that I have, man, is try to pick something that's gonna be available to the most people. Something, man. I was just looking through Pluto today, and they're starting to get very competitive with Tubi. I'd say they don't have a lot of their own. They don't like have original movies, but come on, I'll go to the Tubi original movies anyway. But yeah, I was pretty impressed by their library and how many like entire franchises of movies they have. Also, if you want to watch some good giallo films, you want to watch some old Fulci stuff and Bava stuff and stuff like that nobody talks about, go to Pluto and just look through everything that they have in their horror library. Some cool stuff in there. But yeah, try to pick something from a site where the most people are going to be able to watch it. I'm not going to tell you what to do or what to pick, but you're going to, the bigger the platform you pick, the more people are going to watch the movie that you chose, the more people are going to comment on it. You're going to, and are going to remember it when it's your turn to pick again, right? They're going to be like, oh, it's Chris's turn to pick again. Cool. I remember the last movie you picked. Anyway, so we'll keep doing these. Yeah, we're back to doing horror. I quit playing video games. I don't know why. I just like got bored with it. It got like 2 years was too much. You know what I mean? And now we're just back to having fun. We're watching horror movies. Me and Lisa we're fixing to binge the rest of The Last of Us, knocked them out. We watched House of Dragons yesterday. We binged that, knocked that out. Probably the best horror series that we've watched in the last 6 months is Let the Right One In. Check that out, guys. And I keep trying to get everybody to go watch it. I know, like, if you haven't heard of it, it sounds stupid. You're like, oh, from the movie. Trust me, it's totally worth watching. And I think we might not get a second season of it, sadly, if more people don't go watch it. I've seen shows that more people watched that didn't get a second season. So go check it out. Go watch horror. That's what your job is. That's what you're supposed to do. Go watch horror and keep it going. All right, guys. We'll talk to you the next time we got something we're talking about. Bye.